This is a film about the Cabot Learning Federation.
And the stories of people and communities will connect with us.
Together we reflect on our past
and imagine our dreams and ambitions.
Helping to shape the future of our trust.
When I grew up in the area that I lived, it was really fun. I got to hang out with all my family and friends. It was like a really joyous community-like area.
I grew up in St George, which is where Summerhill is placed. It was a difficult area to grow up in, so I know a lot about the experiences that our children have on a daily basis. But it feels really great to be part of this community once more, but in a different setting.
Well, I grew up in Romania and I moved here when I was 9.
I grew up in Romania.
It was different to how it is here. School is very different because school in Romania is much more like harsh and it's more like intense.
We would have similar desks to what is like here. We would have these textbooks.
Yeah, it was different because here it's more like chilled off. You get more fun activities while there is just like sit there writing. It's all like knowledge, not a lot of practical.
I managed to go through a really tough life.
Because you went from Syria to Lebanon,
yeah,
didn't you?
I did to 2 countries, kind of what I was living in and the problems of war. I thought that was pretty strong of me to manage to do that. I wasn't really good at speaking English, but through teachers and my friends, I managed to get through all the hard things that I wasn't sure with. And
So I grew up in Ghana in West Africa. I went to an army school. My school was a garrison primary, garrison secondary school, and the experience is completely different. You live by the rules, you obey by the rules, and I think it has prepared me. We had a sense of purpose to go to school regardless of the journey, regardless of what was going on, and I will never forget that experience.
What was I like when I was at school? I didn't have a particular wonderful time when I was at secondary school, hence why I work in a secondary school in pastoral lead.
Oh, I was a goody two-shoes at school. I wanted all the praise. I did exactly what I was told. I loved learning.
In lessons, I tend to just keep my head down. My passion has always been sport. In my lessons, by no means was I academic. I scraped through my GCSEs, I got where I needed to go.
I was a typical class clown. I did mess around a lot. I had a few subjects that I really enjoyed, and in those, my best behaviour would be on show.
At school, I was really quiet. I didn't have much self-belief, but when I was here at Uphill, there was a teacher that did believe in me, and she was certain that I'd be a teacher myself.
I was an invisible student, so I did just enough to get by without being seen.
The advice that I'd give myself going back a few years would be to just not worry about what other people think of you. You really have to believe in yourself and what you're capable of doing.
I would be advising myself to do a little bit more often.
I would tell myself it's all going to be okay. I didn't do great in my exams and I put a lot of pressure on myself in GCSE and in A-level, and everything's turned out okay.
Be more confident.
Oh, I would just say just have more confidence, because it's there and you can do it, but it's just having that self-belief that you can do it.
Have the confidence to take the opportunities that are put in front of you, because sometimes you see things and you think, that's not for me, or could I really do that? And I think actually just go for it, be confident. If you fail, you fail, that's absolutely fine, but just go for it and take those opportunities as they come up.
To listen more and accept the help that people are trying to offer you. When I just remember feeling when I was younger as if everyone was out to get me, which is, it's not the case. It's easier to have friends in life.
My favorite thing about school is the way they take normal maths and subjects and turn it into fun stuff for us to do.
All the teachers care about you, and I think they just really want to make sure that you get the best education. The extracurricular activities, because
like it includes everyone. Like you have different subjects to like do. Any interest that you can do, you can also participate in those, and they're like obviously optional and they can help with your future.
For us, we like doing drama. Like we did the Matilda play at our school, and I think it's really cool because like all the tickets that were bought for that production goes back into drama. Well, I love school because it's a chance to learn new things and to meet new friends and have lots of fun.
And what I liked about school is the teachers. They help us get through three things, and all the lessons are helping us of what we want to be when we're older and our career.
It's just, I like how you're pushed to think in ways you wouldn't normally think, especially when you get to like the harder topics, and it's just useful for like problem solving and things like that, like logical thinking.
My favourite thing about school is that we get to have the opportunity to learn, and we also get to meet different people.
I think what makes a difference is believing and knowing or showing the pupils that you really care. They need to feel loved, and that's why they come to school day in, day out. It helps with attendance, it helps them to believe in themselves and to really achieve and recognise their possibilities.
What makes a difference is the commitment of staff, the dedication that they have, and the personalised approach that we have to the families. We know our families really well, and that makes a real difference.
I think one of the biggest things that you can do as a teacher, or in any part of education when you work in education, is build those relationships. I think it makes such a massive difference to students' lives on.
Yeah, the CLF means to me, it's just all about collaboration, people working together, and it's brilliant for developing us as teachers, and also sharing resources, getting ideas. I think it keeps us fresh and keeps us up to date because there's always someone with a new idea, which is always brilliant.
I think my real passion for activity and young people is what gets me out of bed every morning. I think certainly post-pandemic now, it really shows the importance of teaching young people about a healthy lifestyle.
So I've been a teacher for 6 years. I'm just starting my 6th year, and I did skit training with the CLF, and I did supply for a term or two, but then I got a job within the CLF, and so it's the only system I know really. The whole heart values, everything that the trust stands for, is kind of what are embedded in my teaching.
It means a lot to me because I spent the key years of my teens within the CLF, so it's where I had all of my major moments, whether they've been good or bad. And now to come back and work here, it means even more to me because I can try and emulate what helped me when I was there. And obviously, it's an opportunity for me as well, because working within the CLF is just a whole new door for me. And it's brilliant, to be honest. And then it's just the benefits it's having at home for me with my children as well.
When I grow up, I want to be a Formula 1 driver.
I want to be a child psychologist.
I really want to be a doctor.
I really want to be an engineer for Airbus Stevenage. I would like to become a professional footballer.
A singer or a fashion designer.
I would like to be a car engineer.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor.
Yeah, I want to do something to do with like marketing and like business. That's like my aim.
Since I was 4, I've been really into dancing. So I've always wanted to become an actress or a dancer. I'm going to be a scientist. That's what I want the most. I want to be a technical or electrical engineer. I want to become a respiratory surgeon.
I would really like to be a police officer.
I like to be a pilot.
I think I want to go into a lab studying genetics.
The CLF in year 2030, I think it needs to be that every academy is the school of choice, the local community.
I hope that they would continue to really foster the children in our care.
I would hope that we continue with breaking down the barriers that we are at the moment.
Diversity is something that we need to be doing more of, and so I do hope that as the CLF grows and expands as a federation, we will be able to see that expansion also with more diverse leaders, not just from one particular group, but from all walks of life.
In 2030, I imagine we'll be a bigger trust. I think we'll be supporting more pupils, more communities, and I want it to be incredibly successful and build on what we currently do.
I'd imagine the CLF will continue to be successful. I'd imagine that it will perhaps serve more children across the Southwest. But ultimately, I'd imagine that it still holds true to its values and its core purpose, and is highly committed to serve the families in its communities.
Education will change your life. You don't see it now, but having an education will give you the keys to unlock doors and be the person who you potentially can be. And what a gift that is to give somebody.